Feroz has asked a question, do you believe in Dajjal? You know, this is an interesting question because this question is built upon a presupposed belief. Okay, it's interesting because it's built upon a presupposition. Okay, because you are asking about something already having a belief construct. Whereas if I gave you a word of something that you've never heard of, let's say, or if I just gave you a term, let's say you have heard of it, but it's something like if I say, do you believe in the embezzler? Somebody who embezzles. Or do you believe in the, like, what are we talking about? Or do you believe in, so, you see, when you say Dajjal, you're not starting from ground zero. You're starting with beliefs that you already carry. I've told people before, Dajjal as the Antichrist is a myth. It does not exist in Islam. The word Dajjal does come in several hadith. They all, the hadith that it comes in, you've got, now how do you look at these hadith? I've told you before, this ties into the topic of Jesus, his second coming, the Mahdi, and this Antichrist, if that's what you want the term to mean at Dajjal, because Dajjal means deceiver. It could be referring generally, because in some hadith it comes on its own. My approach to this is any of these hadith that are linked to each other are all unacceptable. And that is clear. So there is no Antichrist that is coming that is got this kind of devil child that is going to come and try people. And that is absurd, that God would test people like that. Because that, you see, that is to call God an unreasonable God. And a kind of sadistic kind of the God of the Old Testament, kind of this sadistic. So basically, Allah never gives you proof to believe in Him, but He tells you to just believe in Him based on reason and perception and look around. But then He sends a devil child, which has immense powers of defying the laws of nature and bringing the dead back to life and basically giving you proof. So God tells you, go look in the earth and look for proof about me, and then He sends a devil child who will show you proof, and then if you follow that proof, you get done. That has to be the most absurd that has to be the most absurd suggestion, that Allah is gonna say to you, look, follow me based on proof. That's like I say to you, right, okay, right, somebody's going to come to you and they're going to tell you that they're from me. And if they tell you to go with them, go with them. And then somebody comes and they take you, and then I say, but why did you go? You were supposed to know that that was a test. So this is absurd, right? You're supposed to believe based on your evidences. Then God sends a devil child who has all these evidences. And then, but if you follow the perception, what you're actually seeing is believing. Ver para creer en español. You know, seeing is believing. So you see this, you believe it, and now you get punished for doing that. That kind of a God is just a sadistic God who's just toying with people, just trying to torture them. It completely clashes with the concept of Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. So no, I don't believe in these kind of things. You want to believe in them, you can believe in them. It doesn't bother me. People out there believe in the spaghetti monster and the bogeyman, and it doesn't bother me what people believe. But no, to me, Allah is not this kind of sadistic God who kind of toys with people and tricks them and tries to trip them up and stuff like this. Right, so that's not, right, okay, somebody's posted a link. I'll comment on that in a moment. So, and anybody who's trolling, spamming, you're going to get blocked. Right, so that's as far as, so the Dajjal, if you start from ground zero where you don't have a preconceived idea of the Antichrist, you will then look at these hadith and say, well, okay, anything that's linked with Jesus and this, and they're problematic, and I'll show that in the future when I do my course on the second coming of Jesus being false. But the Dajjal hadith are either referring to the shaitan in some narrations where the Prophet has mentioned the term Dajjal, the imposter, the deceiver, who is the devil, is the deceiver. Or maybe, because I find that hadith interesting, that a time will come that every prophet warned his ummah about this time where deception, the deceptive, will be so powerful. What is this deceptive? And that's just my take. I think maybe it's to do with that we are embarking on an age where the virtual is becoming imperceptible from the real, and it's becoming more real than the real. That's just my take. I don't say you have to take that. You can just chuck all of these hadith out, or you can just consider those to do with the devil, full stop. It's as simple as that.